faster than right.
You wonder how much longer Mills Lane will allow this to go on. And that's going to be it.
Well, I've seen some strange.
You got rid of Lewis like you did, and then for the second fight, because we all know that chin is tougher than boot leather, right?
Right.
Could you maybe elaborate on what was going on at the time in your life, or if it was just,
it was some things that was put on me that was really just unfair. I mean, for any fighter that's putting their life on the line, and I definitely had to fight the fight anyway, but to pay some taxes, because that was another thing that was on me. I want to pay my taxes, so I said, well, I'm gonna fight the fight so I can pay my taxes off. But doing that under the stipulations and the rules that they was putting on me, it was just a little bit too much. It really was. And then I had close family members that wanted me to lose. I mean, really, even up to this day, I had close individuals that wanted me to lose and lose bad. And so I had to go through that. I had to get over it and still deal with the drug addictions and all of that I was dealing with that time. It was just an overload of some things that, I was like, wait up, I ain't gonna, and I went to see a psychiatrist. His name was Dr. Burley. And I told Dr. Burley, I said, Dr. Burley, I say, if it's me, if I'm crazy, if I need to take something, let me take it. I take it. And then I told him what was going on. And then he looked at me. I said, all right, what's my diagnosis? Am I crazy? Do I need to take some medicine? He said, no, Oliver. He said, but what if they keep on doing what they're doing? What you going to do? I said, well, Dr. Burley, if they keep doing what they're doing, I said, it's going to come a time in that fight where I'm going to stop fighting. I ain't going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. Dr. Burley looked at me and said, how you going to do that? I said, I don't know. I said, but I ain't going to get knocked out. And a time in that fight came in the third round. In the third round, he hit me. I went up against the ropes. I looked out right over his shoulder and saw his mama rooting for him. And then if my mama would have came there, I was going to prison. Mm-hmm. And that's what popped me right there. When I looked at his mama rooting for him to knock me out. Now I was like, Mama, now if my mama would have been here, I'm going to prison. Win or lose. And that kind of really hit me hard. And I went into a zone. But my thing was not to get knocked out. I was like, he ain't gonna knock me out though. And that was and that kind of stuck in my mind. I almost clicked out of it in the fourth round because that was the third round. They didn't stop the fight until the fifth round. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, the ref was a real judge. The ref that was refereeing that fight was a real judge on the court. Mills Lane.
Mills, yeah.
A real judge. So and come to find out, they end up asking Mills Lane what was the most bizarre fight he ever refereed. And I think he said my fight. He said something about what happened in my fight that was just kind of real peculiar. But it was a lot of stipulations. And if I had to do it over, if I really had to do it over again, I think I would have just went ahead and fought. Knock me out, or I'm gonna knock you out, because looking at what it actually caused and all the chaos it caused over the years, mm-hmm. I think I would have went ahead and just said, man, I'd rather got knocked out than to be here sitting right now, 39 years later after I boxed professional, never being knocked down or knocked out. I would rather, even now, fought that fight and got knocked out and best man win, than to be here now tomorrow. I've never been knocked down or knocked out. I think I would have done it different, but that's it's too late. Can't change that now. So
yeah, but one thing I will say, as he said, there was a lot of drug addiction going on too.
Yeah,
and one thing I want to say on his behalf and honor him, he's 10 years clean.
Well, 12
years clean.
12.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. I got a dozen without that craziness, man. Yeah. And so that's a blessing, man.
That's awesome. Good,
yeah.
Hey, listen, I've